Greetings, fellow Star Trek fans. This video is going to be pretty cool. At least I think it's pretty cool. We all know how awesome the Polar Lights model kits are, especially the 1/350 scales. And in this video, I'm going to compare all the releases of the Polar Lights 1/350 scale USS Enterprise, whether it's the Refit or the NCC-1701-A. And these are all on 350 scale. And for the Refit, they've come out with 3 different versions. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at them. I think this is going to be pretty exciting. The first one, this one over here, and I must apologize for the light because there's a lot of light coming through in the kitchen. I thought it'd be the perfect place to film these, but the glare, because they're all still wrapped in the plastic, so I apologize for that. But the first one, the original, if you will, the Polar Lights 1/350 USS Enterprise, it was actually marketed as the NCC-1701-A. And it came out in 2005. And you can see the packaging lists over 150 pieces. And it's the USS Enterprise, and it's leaving space dock. I don't know if you can see that. Let me show you a little bit better. But it's actually leaving space dock. I don't know if you can see that, but we'll do the individual ones. The second one, this one came with actually having the Aztecing decals, so you wouldn't have to buy the stickers to put on. And I decided that they probably decided it was a good idea to include it, and then they probably figured they can make more money by selling them separately, and the newest one does not have the Aztecing decals. But this one was a 2009 release, and the box art is a little more elaborate, and there's printing on the back, which I'll show you guys. And the latest release, this one was actually, incidentally, I'll let you guys know that the 2009 release was the NCC-1701-A as well. So the first two were packaged as the NCC-1701-A. The latest one, the 2017 release, was marketed as the Refit. Of course, they can all be the Refit or the NCC-1701-A if you prefer. So, let's go ahead and we'll start comparing them. We'll start off with the first one from 2005. Okay, the first one from Polar Lights. This really started the craze. This one came out in 2005. You can see the box art is pretty cool. This Earth in the background, and you have the space dock where the Enterprise is leaving. And this would be the NCC-1701-A. And if you guys remember, well, those of you that know, you may not know, that the NCC-1701-A was actually the Yorktown that was converted to the Enterprise. This model kit features 1/350 scale, packaged as the NCC-1701-A, but can be made as the Refit. As I said, it was released in 2005, and it's featuring over 150 pieces, which you can see where they put in bold on the cover. It's model number 4204, and it has a skill level of 2. Now, anyone that has done these model kits, I'm in the middle of doing the 1/350 scale USS Enterprise, the original from Polar Lights. And the skill level to me is pretty high. It seems like it's a lot of work, but it's worth it in the end. And this has got to be one of the most difficult model kits to do, because when I'm done with the regular, the original Enterprise, I'm going to go to the Refit, and I'm going to do the painting, the mother of pearl Aztecing painting pattern. So that's going to be pretty tough, but it's going to be awesome. Getting back to this one, it includes the Aztec pattern in the instructions to use on Frisket, where you can scan it in and then you can print it out on Frisket. It does not include any Aztecing decals in this model kit. The base holds the ship with 2 pillars under the bridge and 1 under the shuttle bay. So this one, it's kind of different the way it sits on the base. I didn't do this model kit, and I haven't opened the package, so I can't show you what it looks like. But I've seen pictures on the internet, and with the ship, there's 2 glass or crystal-like pillars that are holding the saucer section up, and there's 1 coming down in the back. It's almost like the base looks like a space dock. I didn't really care for that one, and I guess not too many people did because they ended up changing the base. With this one, you have the option to leave the shuttle bay doors open or close them. And they kept that through all the model kits because, you know, it's pretty cool to have the shuttle bay door open and you can look inside and see the hangar deck. It does include the inspection pod, TMP, shuttlecraft, Navette, TMP, and shuttlecraft Navette, Star Trek V. It has the VIP lounge, it has the arboretum, and it does have the detailed shuttle bay and the cargo hold. I mean, you know, realistically they can't give you the option to keep the door open and have nothing inside, so that's why they offer all this inside the kit. I mean, there's no photos on the back of this box. This is when it was, let me turn it around for you, and again I apologize for the glare, but as you can see, let me see, is that looking... There is a hole in the back. I guess that's so you can see the packaging of the individual pieces. But the box itself does not have any printing on the back, and it's pretty basic. The picture still is cool, the picture art. The picture art, well, anything with the Enterprise is beautiful, and this is no exception. So, basically, that's the first release from Polar Lights, the 2005 release. Now we'll move on to the next one. Okay, the second release of this model from Polar Lights, 1/350 scale, was released in 2009. One of the most striking things, as you can see, it includes the Aztecing decals for the entire ship. And they sell them separate now, they don't include them in a kit. And as you guys know that are into these kits, that can be pretty expensive. So personally I wish they would have left them in, but what I'm going to do is, the latest release does not have the decals for the Aztecing. I'm going to make that one as the Enterprise refit from Star Trek the Motion Picture, and I'm going to paint the mother and pearl patterns. I got all the different patterns, that'll be another show. With this one, I'm going to make this one as the A, and I'm going to use the decals for the Aztecing, and I'm going to compare how they look and the differences. But this is the 2009 release. Again, it's 1/350 scale, and it's model kit number POL 808. Again, this has a skill level of 2. Now I'm guessing, you know, anybody can take it out of the box, follow instructions, and put the pieces together. But when it comes to the intricate painting, and especially, you know, I'm going to light them, and I know many of you guys light them as well. These model kits are expensive, and I can't see paying that much for this model kit, doing all that work putting it into it, and just not going the extra mile to light it. You have to light them. Again, this is one of the most absolutely beautiful models that there is, and the Enterprise is my favorite ship of all time. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. My personal favorite is the NCC-1701, the original, from the original series. That's my absolute favorite ship. But this is a close second. I absolutely love the refit. Again, this one was released in 2009. It's shown, again, as the NCC-1701, but it can be made as the refit Enterprise. Where the first one, the 2005 release, had the kind of weird base where the Enterprise sat on the base with poles, this one is different. This has the introduction of the metal rod, and it supports the model, and it's underneath the deflector dish down at the bottom. Again, this one has the full Aztecing decals included. It has the inspection pod, the shuttlecraft from Star Trek V, and shuttlecraft from Star Trek the Motion Picture. It has the arboretum, has the officer's lounge. It has the option of having the shuttle bay doors open or closed. And again, it has the highly detailed shuttle bay. Again, if you're going to offer the doors open, you have to have more to look in and see instead of just looking in and seeing the inside of the walls cemented together or the secondary hull. The box art itself, you can see it's got a nice action shot of the Enterprise in action. The sides, and now they put the printing on the back. I don't know if you can see that. It's difficult to read, but you can see the photographs, and I'll try to include the photographs to show you in better quality because I know the glare is coming in. And in this, they're showing the actual detailed finished kit. The original one didn't have pictures, but it has the same base, but the original one had rods coming down on either side of the bridge section, the saucer section, and one in the back. And this is the NCC-1701-A. In 2270, immediately after the Enterprise's historic 5-year mission under the command of Captain James T. Kirk, the Enterprise was placed into dry dock, and this was due for a major refit. The legendary vessel received significant upgrades to most systems, including a new state-of-the-art bridge and sleek new warp drive nacelles. The refit Enterprise was first commanded by Captain Willard Decker, until the V'ger incident forced then Admiral Kirk to reassume command. In 2285, the ship was damaged in battle when the villainous Khan Uning Singh was headed back to Earth for repairs. Shortly thereafter, the Enterprise was set to self-destruct when threatened by Klingon capturer over the Genesis planet. And I'm just reading the back to you. This is the showing the history of the NCC-1701-A, one that the others, well, the newest one has, but the original one didn't give you any kind of background. Let me show you where it says that it was actually the Yorktown. In 2286, Starfleet Command renamed the U.S.S. Yorktown NCC-1701 to U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-A and placed it under the command of demoted Admiral James T. Kirk to the command of Captain. It was given to him by the Federation Council in gratitude for saving Earth from the alien probe. You guys remember they had to go back in time to bring George and Gracie, the humpback whales, back into the future, so the probe would then leave Earth intact. But it shows the history of the Yorktown. I'm going to try to find a picture of the Yorktown and put that up while I'm describing the back to you, because I don't know, I don't think the Yorktown was, I'm trying to recall if the Yorktown was in the original series. You remember when they had the M5 computer and it took over to replace the crew, and they had the games, the battle games, and the computer didn't realize it was just a game. I don't remember if it was the Yorktown was part of the fleet that was going against the Enterprise. I'll have to find that out. If I can, I will put a picture up of the Yorktown. And it talks about its end. The final mission for the Enterprise A came in 2293 when the Klingon moon Praxis exploded, crippling the Klingon Empire and opening up a major peace initiative. Ultimately, the Enterprise and her crew saved the diplomatic talks from conspirators in both the Federation and Klingon governments, ushering in a new era of peace to the galaxy. And it talks about its significant role. The exploration of the galaxy ensures the name Enterprise will conjure visions of great heroism and galactic adventure for the next generation and beyond. So, I don't know if it was talked about before how the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-A was made, where it was actually the Yorktown. I didn't know it was the Yorktown until I seen the model, the back of the model kit. So, that being said, it shows you photographs, the inside of the shuttle bay, and again, it's just a beautiful ship. The decals look really nice, and you can see that this model kit was done using the decals. I don't know. Again, I'm going to try to put photographs so you can get a better look at the box. But this is the 2009 version of the Polar Lights 1/350 scale Enterprise. Now we'll move on to the newest version. Okay, this brings us to the latest release of this awesome, iconic starship. This would be the 2017 release, the Polar Lights USS Enterprise. And this time they used marketing it as the Refit, not as the A. Like the others, it's in 1/350 scale, skill level of 2, and it's model kit number POL 949. It does have the abordium, the officer's lounge, and has the option of having the shuttle bay doors open or close, and includes a highly detailed shuttle bay. But it no longer comes with the Aztecing decals. It's sold separately, and it's about $65 for the Aztecing decal kit. So it is expensive, and this model it's about, now I got this one off of eBay for about $89. So they range anywhere from $90 to $125 in that range. And again, this one is packaged as the Refit. And you can see the photograph on the front has Admiral Kirk, and I don't know if he's not Captain Spock yet, but Mr. Spock, and it's from Star Trek The Motion Picture. It has that kind of a prism look to it. And it has the Enterprise coming as the Refit. And the Refit, I love the Refit so much. I think she's absolutely gorgeous with all the mother of pearl painting on it. The box itself is very, very nicely packaged. Again, it shows you and I'm not sure if this is the decals, but it doesn't come with the decals. So it's showing the model finished, but it does not include in the kit those model decals, because it looks pretty much like the same pictures that they used from the 2009 release. You can see it's lit up, or its reflections, because it does not come with lighting kit in any way. It includes all technical and registry markings as well for the strongback decals in 2 color schemes. And it talks about, let me see, in 2270, immediately after the Enterprise historic 5-year mission. See, it has the same writing as the 2009. Let's see if it talks about the Yorktown. Yep. After the Enterprise was self-destructed over the Genesis planet, the U.S.S. Yorktown NCC-1701 was replaced to take the place of the U.S.S. Enterprise, renamed NCC-1701-A. Because it makes sense that the time frame was pretty close between the Genesis planet and when they got back from Vulcan, after they had taken Mr. Spock back to get his Katra put back into him. They had to come back, and then they were faced immediately with the planet being under siege by a probe. Come to find out they were looking for the humpback whale, and they had gone back in time with the Klingon bird of prey. When they got back, that's when the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-A was. And it made you wonder how they could have made it so fast. Well, now that was answered. Again, it shows on the bottom, it shows you that the kits are sold separately from the decals. With the Aztecing decals, it does have all the other decals. And it shows the model, the one that I'm working on actually right now, is the Polar Lights 1/350 U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701. That happens to be my favorite ship ever. I absolutely love the Enterprise. And basically, in a quick nutshell, there you have it. Those are all 3 of the releases of the Polar Lights 1/350 scale USS Enterprise. In my opinion, the second release was probably the best one. I'm sure all the modeling and plastic is the same, but that one had the most that came with the kit, like the decals and stuff. When it comes to pictures, on the box art, this one is my favorite because I like the motion picture, the prism in the background, and you just see how beautiful she looks coming right at you. And the original release is pretty basic, but I'm sure the decals are the same as what would be included in this. Again, I'm not too crazy about the way it was displayed on the base, and I'm sure not too many people were, and that's why they changed it to the metal rod going into the half dome as we have now. Well, that's all of the different models, and I can only wonder what Polar Lights will be coming out with next. Wouldn't you love to see an Enterprise D in 1/350 scale? That would be so cool. I'd love to see an Enterprise, all of them, really. Maybe the USS Enterprise B, the C, the D. I mean, that would just be really cool. But who knows what lies in store for the future for the Enterprise Refit or the NCC-1701-A. That being said, I'm still working on my other one, the Polar Lights original series model, and as soon as the weather warms up, I'll be able to paint it outside and continue. But those are my thoughts. Let me know which ones is your favorite, and I'd love to see all videos and pictures of you guys from working on your own. And just because this is just so much fun, and it's even more fun to share with others that are as enthusiastic as the Enterprise as I am. So that being said, I hope you guys have a great week and live long and prosper. Thank you for watching.